Hi, Don.
Hi, this is Dra Lourdes Alvarez. So tell me, what kind of a healer are you? What do you do?
I am trained as a physician, as a general practitioner, and as an acupuncturist and homeopath.
And what kind of certifications do you have?
I am a doctor from the National University in Mexico City, and I have a degree from the Institute of Traditional Acupuncture in Maryland.
Great. And where are you from and what brought you to Tepoztlán originally?
I was born and raised in Mexico City, and the first time I spent some time here in Tepoztlán, I knew I would live here at some point, and I finally was able to get here in 1986. My intention is to work with the disciplines I have, helping people see the connections that their physical situations have with their lives, with their emotions, with the moment they're living. So I try to work with that scope.
Thank you, Lourdes.
You're welcome, Don.
Hi, Charlie. How you doing?
Fine, I'm great.
What's your entry into being a healer? How did you get started doing that? What brought you to that?
Well, to get out of the Vietnam War, I had to come up with a medical deferment, and I found out and I realized I was hypoglycemic. So in studying about how to cure hypoglycemia, which took you about 10 years, I had to find out a lot about my own diet. I became a microbiotic when I was like 20 years old. And basically, macrobiotics led into acupuncture and massage, and also the martial arts and all that stuff. And then I wound up studying acupuncture with an Aikido master in Santa Fe.
And what brought you to Tepoztlán?
Well, my fairy godmother came to me, visited me in San Francisco. I lived in a drag queen collective, and they had their fairy godmother come for Mexico. And she invited me twice to here. And the second time I actually heard her, and we made a date, and we met here on the Day of the Dead, 1976.
So what's your basic philosophy about healing?
I say go with the flow and feel the, basically, I'm one of those barefoot magnetic mechanics, basically. What I do is I teach people to relax and breathe and concentrate. And when I get their imagination going with their inspiration and working with me, I think the energy goes as deep or deeper than during doing acupuncture. I got licensed in acupuncture in Santa Fe. But I don't really do that much acupuncture because I don't work with really seriously sick people. I work with people who like being healthy and they want to reinforce their health before they lose it. Those are my best kind of patients. And that's what I do here in the plaza where we are. I just get people to take their shoes off and stand on my straw mats. And what it does is they're standing on the most magnetic valley in the world. And I felt that when I got here, but that's been proven by NASA since. These are the most magnetic mountains.
Thanks, Charlie. Hi, this is Robin. She lives in Amatlán, which is about 20 minutes from central Tepoztlán. How you doing, Robin?
I'm doing great, Don.
Good. And what brought you out here? Where did you come from, and what brought you out to this neck of the woods?
I was living in Kentucky, where I lived for about 25 years. I started having visions of Latin America, and circumstances led me to Amatlán.
You're a healer.
I am a health and wellness coach and a food mentor, help people who want to change their diet to achieve that, make the changes they want to.
And what brought you to do that?
I used to be a documentarian. I used to make documentaries, and my specialization was in interviewing elders for their stories.
Nice.
Yeah. And for me, hearing people's stories nourishes me profoundly. It's an honor also to hear people's stories. And so in Kentucky, where I lived, one of the wonderful things about Kentucky is this Appalachian culture and this value in more traditional ways, and one of them includes storytelling. I was interested, speaking of healing, in storytelling for healing. That the act of telling one story and being heard or witnessed is a healing opportunity. I came across a brochure for a program in health coaching, which I'd never heard of before. And when I read this brochure, I just felt called, like this is exactly what I want to do, which would be to support people in empowering themselves to listen within and take care of their health in the way that they wanted to, because the influence of allopathic medicine is so strong in our culture, and it can be great and it can be appropriate, but it can also be very, in my words, very patriarchal, very much we have the information, you know nothing, just do what we say, you're wrong to question. So by being a health and wellness coach, that's what I wanted to help people do. I was doing some part-time work for a deaf woman, and I was helping. She had cancer and she was trying to heal herself naturally, and so I was helping her with her diet, with dealing with herbs, because I've studied plant medicine for years, and so I know a lot about how to work with plants as medicine, and she knew nothing, and so I was helping her with all that, and it was such a satisfying experience that I asked myself, what is this that I'm doing that I love so much with her, and so that I could keep doing it. And one day in meditation it came to me, the word came. I hadn't thought about it in, I don't know, 10 years or something, like a health coach.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome.
This is Laura. Laura, where are you from and what brought you here?
I'm from the States, various different places in the States. I was living in Seattle before I came here, and I came here because the universe decided to kick me out of Seattle, and my life was just kind of imploding, one disaster after another, and it just shot me off, and I ended up here.
Uh-huh. And you're a healer. What kind of healing would you do?
I like to say I'm a path opener. What I do is bring people into their own minds and let them see how they're constructing reality in their minds, and how their minds, their concepts are standing in the way of their being, and how to free themselves of those concepts.
And how did you get to become a healer like this?
I did it by healing myself, and it took years and years and years, and it was often torturous, but one does this sort of work because one has no other choice. And eventually it starts to all click together, and we arrive.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.